Lovely image to start with here, but I just want to do an assessment of the damage from the chilly nights. So far, not too bad. Got down to about 40 degrees last night. I am a bit insulated. Everything on the patio kind of is warmed up by the concrete. And then I have a lot of eaves on the house that overhang, and that actually helps shield things from the cold. Did bring in the amaryllis that was sitting here and moved these two plectranthus. I'm going to overwinter. Begonias are still okay. This ivy lives on the porch. I take it out every year. I have one mum that opened up over here. Those were the ones that survived from last year, and I just potted them up, so I don't know what color they're going to be. You can see I have this bobo hydrangea that I got on clearance. I'll plant that once they go dormant. Cannas are doing good. This is one of the proven winners canna. I think it's toucan orange, or pretty sure. But those leaves actually look pretty healthy. I saved those rhizomes. Coleus still looking good. Got Golden Dreams and Sedona Sunset, other than broken branches from the wind. Potato vines are still looking good. It's been really windy the past couple days, so things are looking a little windblown. You can see my collection of clearance perennials has grown here. Garden centers are doing 50 or 75% off now. So what I can't plant this year, I can overwinter either on my porch or in the shed. That geranium I'll be taking inside. Begonias still look okay. All of these Caliber Koa are looking pretty rough. They're frost tolerant, but doesn't mean they like it. Everything over here still looks great. Canna, if it were earlier in the season, I'd be cutting off those brown leaves, but I'm not going to bother right now. I'm actually kind of shocked that the caladiums didn't wilt last night. Some of them have started to. They're not nearly as peppy as they were, and you can see some wilted leaves down there. That's what they do when they get hit with cold. And everything looks pretty windblown in here too. Like things really got knocked around. This coleus looks absolutely gorgeous. That's the Color Blaze Velveteen coleus. Just love that one. I haven't grown that one before, and I'll look for it again. Elephant ears still look good, just some of the aged leaves there. Yeah, as I expected, this side is holding up. Most of these are pretty frost tolerant, except for the potato vine down here, but I don't think it quite got that cold just yet. Kufia just blooming away there. Again, some of the caladiums have kind of showed signs that they don't like the chilly temperatures. I've kind of flip-flopped these around. So they're not looking their best, but, they're not horrible either. I need to fill the water on that thing. Elephant ears still looking good. This is a spider plant that I had indoors on the brink of death, but it really revived well out here. So those are some tough plants. I mean, that thing was... Most of my houseplants have to withstand severe neglect for a good 8 months of the year. So anything that survives my house is pretty tough. I took in the Rex begonias that I had, put those on the porch, because those I will overwinter. I have successfully kept those as houseplants. Grass, of course, looks beautiful. Lots of movement in the wind. Again, coleus still okay. Plectranthus, everything down here looks good, just maybe a little bit beaten up and overgrown. This planter, I just love. Look at that verbena. Look at it go. Still, here in October in Minnesota, it is so pretty. This is getting, you can see how the, had I trimmed this petunia back maybe a month ago, 3-4 weeks ago, it wouldn't look like that. It would be a little bit fuller now, but I just didn't, because once I get to the end of the season, I'm just kind of tired. Cabbage, of course, that'll look good through frost. Same with all of this stuff will look okay still yet from the frost. Salvia is looking a little bare, but still blooming. Definitely the hummingbirds have migrated now. I haven't seen any since, I think, the weekend. maybe Monday night. There's a potato vine that looks pretty now, but that'll go with frost. Those petunias still looking okay. Everything's just looking tired. I've got some things on the table here that I will overwinter. I need to bring that Senecio in pretty soon here. I picked up, you can see I've added to my perennials. It's all around the edges here. Clearance perennials. And then these are annual grasses, like some kind of carex, but they were only $1 a piece. So I picked up 6 of them. I figure I can plunk them in places that look bare in the fall. They'll die in the winter, but they kind of already look dead, so I don't think it'll be that big of a difference. This is looking not so great. This, you can see the size of that pot. It's pretty substantial, but it's not very wide, and this hibiscus got huge, and it acts like a sail. We've had such a windy week, and it kept tipping over. That's why I have that boulder kind of to weigh it down in there. So I just stuffed it back there so that it quits tipping over, because I'm tired of it doing that. This is that little container of clearance perennials just doing their thing. Worth $4 total. Dusty Miller, I'll put this on the porch. That'll overwinter just fine. That thing's like 4 years old now. Look at the structure of this cabbage. It has sprouted a second little cabbage head, and then there's kind of a third one down there. This is the original one. I just keep pulling out the dead leaves. I don't know. It's interesting. We'll leave it there. Sedum always looks beautiful in the fall. You can see that salvia, how bare it is now in the middle, especially from this angle. Alyssum, that's really frost tolerant, and that just reseeds itself. I have some reseeding alyssum in a few places in the garden. Coleus might be a little bit sheltered by that from some of the upcoming cold temperatures. I need to divide. This is the fragrant bouquet hosta, and this one is huge. I'm going to probably have to divide it next year, but it really likes that spot. This phlox I'm going to take out of there because the 9 bark has taken over, but I'm surprised it has just kept putting out these little blooms. You can see how bad it gets with mildew in there. The stems are all bare, but just blooming away. Lamb's ear, that coleus. We finally got a couple inches of rain last week, thank goodness. Got a little bit of rain today too. The turtlehead chelone is almost done blooming over here. Just a few blooms left. You can see the back side of this planter. That caladium is definitely wilting down there. That's autumn frost hosta. That's one of my favorites. Super tough. Honeysuckle looks good. This is deciduous, so the leaves kind of turn gold yellow and drop. And then it's just this cool kind of twisted branch structure over the trellis and the laundry pole that it's on for winter time. I love Dichondra Silver Falls. Look how neat that is. That's a ghost fern. I always think I'm going to move it. It looks good until we get heat. I think it's just not quite tucked in the shade enough. And it stays really dry over here. So, but I don't know. It keeps going. That's a mystery heuchera. I do not remember what kind it was years ago. Got some Solomon seal that I think it's too dry over here and sunny maybe. Geum. This is a super tough plant. Part shade over here, super dry. It just does its thing. The massive salvia. This container's still looking good. The bobos. This is where that other bobo hydrangea is going to go. I'm going to pull this one. I'm going to pull out kind of this area. I'm going to wait till they go dormant or just about. I don't know yet if I'll pull that one out or not. And then that third one I'm going to plant kind of in front of where this planter is. That one definitely needs more sun, so it needs to pull out. But also I think the further out I get them from the arborvitae, the more moisture they'll get in the soil. Back here, you can see I put out I got some kitten food, which is recommended for the feral cats. One of them is very, very pregnant and she would stay away from me all summer, but kept coming up and begging whenever I had food out on the porch. So I thought, well, she's probably starving because she's heavily pregnant with her kittens. I don't know if she can hunt enough mice and voles. So I read online that kitten food is high in nutrients and to just give them little bits. She hasn't been out today though, so maybe she had her kittens. Little shade garden. This is 2 different kinds of ajuga as a ground cover. These begonias, well, those ones are looking a little sad, but I don't think that's from the cold. I think that's just where they're placed. This hanging basket looks good. Shade garden. This is finally starting to fill in and look nice this year. Pleased with that. It's still looking good. Let's see. You can see the cart I harvested my potatoes from this grow bag. I think the voles definitely helped themselves to a few before I harvested, but I still got a good amount. We've got another hibiscus I did cut out. You can see I kind of added this area. This is a type of eupatorium? Is that what it's called? A Joe Pye weed. Bone set is the name of it. It blooms white. I just want it to attract the monarchs. This Tithonia, that's annual. That's from a seed. I moved that pixie fountain grass that I didn't like where it was. Maybe it'll do better here. I don't know. For now, it's moved. I planted another random grass that I had. And heucherella. Same thing over here. I kind of expanded. I got another couple of heucherellas in the ground. This one's new. That's where the pixie fountain grass was. This lungwort I just love. This is super drought tolerant, perennial. Once it's established, just make sure you water it well the first year. But it is right in this dry root zone and it does great. Annuals over here are looking pretty tired, but they've still got some color. I'm kind of surprised the caladiums aren't wilting more, but they might be sheltered enough by that Haconocloa grass. Got some nice fall color here. That dogwood's starting to put on some color too. Gets more pink around the edge of the leaves, and then they kind of turn gold. Same thing, the viburnums get some pretty red and orange fall color. Looking forward to that. The mum's still in full bloom. This one does split open. Don't know what kind it is. It was supposed to be an annual mum when I popped it in the ground one year, and it just kept coming back, so I left it. This is chocolate chip ajuga. I am going to be pulling some of that up and planting something in here because I hate daylily foliage, so I want to hide the daylily foliage. And this is annuals. I have this geranium, a verbena. All of these nemesia are looking kind of tired. They like warmer weather. And then, man, these snapdragons were just in full bloom earlier. And I do have some Gaillardia down here. A couple of them, the yellow blooms there. Then this is a helenium I just planted this year. And this is a coreopsis that I think I'm going to put kind of in there once the annuals are done. I like to leave up the bee balm seed heads and the allium seed heads. They look really pretty when they stick up above the snow. This garden has really nice fall color, I must say. Still got blooms. These are the firelight hydrangeas. They are just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that bright raspberry pink color on those. So pretty. I've been cutting them and putting them into little arrangements inside. Brunnera, that's Alexandria variety. I'll be transplanting this hosta. You can clearly see it gets too much sun. It's pretty burned. Here's the back side of those. I did get another Brunnera down there. This is another alyssum that self-seeds right in here. And then I got some variegated Brennera that I planted in here. That's another one that is super drought tolerant once it's established. This is a viburnum, either all that glitters or all that glows. It's not looking real happy, I think, just because of the drought, and it doesn't get as much, doesn't get full sun back here. These caladium too are doing really well. This is red flash down here. They were really, really slow to emerge, but they still haven't been bothered by the cold. They're looking really pretty. It's probably the most tolerant caladium there is. Kind of see the backside, more of the color on this dogwood here. Hopefully that wind isn't too loud. We're going to get another night in the 40s, so I just wanted to document. This is the little lime hydrangea. It's beautiful late summer color, kind of a lime with pink mixed in there. I've been cutting all of these hydrangeas for arrangements. That coleus is still looking good. I think I'm going to pull out these 3. Once we get frost, I'll probably pull out these 3 astilbe and plant some more drought-hardy, drought-tolerant plants in there. These begonias still look good. Last year I had a bunch of annuals planted alongside of the bench, and it's funny how little shelter they need from frost sometimes. I had all vinca, different annual vincas down here, flowering vinca, and there were 2 that were right under the lip of the bench, and everything else got killed by frost except those 2 look perfectly fresh. Just that little lip of the bench was enough to protect those 2. Maybe also the leg, the side of the leg, I don't know. Sun King Aurelia here. I love these plants. Love those cute little blooms. The bees love those blooms too. That's some good late season food for them. We've got the heuchera berry smoothie, I think. This poor willow. I don't know if this will stay here or not in the long run. It likes, we've had drought for 3 years straight, and it likes so much more moisture. It's a thirsty plant. And potatoes that I'm going to harvest this weekend, the rest of them. Zucchini still looking good. There are a bunch of fruit that I can harvest soon. I'll just let that go till it dies off. I've got this dill that seeded itself down here. All the strawberries. This one's looking a little tired. That is one of the Angelonias from Proven Winners. And that has just bloomed like crazy. Still doesn't look tired. It just kind of tipped over a little bit. I still have some peppers I can harvest here. And then a bunch of squash, although I saw those squirrels, those little stinkers. Look what they did. Oh, they make me so mad. Work so hard to grow this stuff, and they just chomp on it. So I'll probably cut a few of these. That's the honey nut variety. It's a dwarf. Butternut, a few peppers, tomatoes. Oh, nothing to see there. Little cabbage I can harvest. These were late season clearance plants that are looking fresh still. Still getting a bunch of beans. This sunflower is a champ. That is the Sun Credible sunflower from Proven Winners. Look at that thing. Look how big it is. It's one plant. Dahlias are still looking beautiful. I have been cutting those as well. The cosmos are looking tired. I mean, the blooms are still pretty. It's just the foliage is not so fresh anymore. And this big one here, that was the mystery one. It took this long to bloom, but look how pretty it is. That was the one that grew. I don't have a stake long enough because I didn't expect to need a 6-foot tall stake at the end of the season. But man, look at that. Look how cute. And there goes the wind blowing them around. Why didn't you bloom earlier, plant? Oh well. More dahlias back there and the zinnias. Here's the aster, a little more full of blooms. The purple back there, and the scomphrena looks great. Well, look at that. One more bloom on the 4 o'clock. hot pink, but they seeded themselves everywhere. They aren't hardy here, so those seedlings won't survive, but I saved seeds for myself. This cabbage just looks beautiful too, especially right next to that red sedum. Grass always looks nice. There's another little lime hydrangea back there. Yeah, not too bad yet. Still some bloom, still some pretty color. There's the rose, that's a peach drift rose. This is its first full year in the ground. Not too shabby. That's the Limelight Prime? Yeah, that's Limelight Prime hydrangea. That was just a 1 gallon plant last year. I planted in the fall. These coleus still are looking good over here too. And the canna lily. And then we still have some snapdragon blooms down there. So overall, still nice to look at. Of course, Sunday, we had a record high temperature for October. It was 92 degrees. That was just the air temperature and it was very humid. Very, very humid this weekend. So it was even more I'm not sure what the dew point was, but they actually canceled the Twin Cities Marathon, I think, for the first time in history. That was supposed to be on Sunday because it was just dangerous temperatures and humidity. So now here we are. It's low 50s and breezy, windy, downright windy right now. It's going to feel autumnal, I think, this weekend and into next week. So I'll keep you updated as I clean up my containers and give more garden tours once the beautiful fall color kind of hits this area. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Have a good day.